What's up, craft beer fans? Ryan and Bill from Craft Beer Review, and we have an awesome guest today, Shinigami from Street Beefs West Coast. Now, if you haven't heard Street Beefs, it's a really, really cool MMA thing that is going on YouTube, and Bill turned me on to this fighter, so we decided to bring him on our show, ask him a few questions. And without further ado, Shinigami, thank you for coming on our show.
Welcome.
How are you?
It's good to be here, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm doing great.
Awesome. Yeah, we watched I was watching a couple of your fights this morning just to prep up for the show. One of my favorite is when you kicked Detail in the face, and I don't even think he knew the fight started.
I'm pretty sure he knew it started.
Yeah, he knew it started.
By the time my shin hit his chin. That seems to be everybody's favorite fight, mine included.
Yeah, that thing lasted about what, 10 seconds?
It was about 10 seconds between when the ref said fight and the ref stopped it, but it was actually only about 4.5 between when it started and when I actually knocked him out.
A little bit of this for Detail, right?
Yeah, right.
Get
just
that up,
throw the
maybe.
block up. Come on, Detail, just block the kick. Even I saw it was coming, and I'm watching the video. So for the people that don't know, please tell us a little bit about Street Beefs. It's it's kind of unique in what they're doing and how they approach it with having people fight.
So on the surface, it kind of just looks like a backyard fight club. Like there's a million of them on YouTube, like Strelka and just a whole bunch of them, right? But it is a lot more than just that. It's first and foremost, it started as a way for people to settle disputes without gun violence. And that's definitely something I firmly believe in. And it's something I've always supported. And I've been watching Street Beefs for like a decade, almost 11 years now. I stumbled across it in 2010, just randomly came up in my YouTube suggestions because I'm kind of a huge martial arts nerd. And if Jesse Ankamp didn't already have Karate Nerd Taken, that would have been my YouTube channel. Shout out to that guy, though. I learned a lot from him, too, trivia-wise. But so I always watch all kinds of street fights, martial arts videos, anything I can just to absorb what's out there and see what's going on in the world, especially since my main art is Kempo Shotokan, with the main focus being American Kempo self-defense. So I'm always looking for stuff like that just to be aware of how street fights go down in the real world in real time in the current year. So it came up because I was watching all that kind of stuff, and I started watching it and watched it off and on for years, based on it cycling through my suggestions. And one day, about a year and a half ago, Scarface announced that he was coming to California to do an event here. And I tried to get in there, but my car got stolen. Some stuff happened. I couldn't make it. Then I did another one in Vegas like a month later or 2 months later, something like that. And then the guys that he had, in fact, the guy that hosted it in Vegas was at the first one he did in Cali, and he offered them to run a West Coast chapter because not everyone can make it to Virginia, and that's where the main yard is. So I ended up hopping in on that, and I actually got in at the last second because there was a little misunderstanding in Facebook's algorithm doesn't show me everything that comes up in the group in time, right? So I thought that the first event was going to be in Vegas because I thought it got moved to Vegas. First it got canceled, then it got moved to Vegas, and it got moved back to California. And I found out the morning it happened that it was back in California. So I got a hold of Tiny Tank and bounced over there because he said, yeah, man, we'll squeeze you in.
That is amazing. You were like, yeah, I get to go over there and battle a real human in hand-to-hand combat.
First time doing full contact. I was actually super excited.
That may be the best way to find out about it. Day of, right? Like, you're fighting today. Perfect. I didn't have to worry about it until right now.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a gamble there. I was like, man, you know what? I mean, I've been training again for like 2 or 3 months. Yeah, my jiu-jitsu school had reopened up. Went back there in July. The fight was in August, and I knew it was coming up, so I started training for it anyway. And then, like I said, there was some confusion, but I got in at the last second for sure, and I showed up. And believe it or not, I actually wasn't nervous at first until I actually was in there. Because I've done martial arts tournaments for years. Don't know who you're fighting. Don't know whether they know how to control themselves. Don't know if they're lying about their rank just to fight more experienced people or are more experienced trying to sandbag.
Don't worry, for sure.
So I showed up and I'm like, yeah, I've been through this. I fought like hundreds of dudes by now. I'll be fine. And then I get in there, and as soon as we do our intros and I'm waiting for the rep to say go, I'm like, oh crap.
What did I do?
It's really happening. It's really happening, and it's going to be on YouTube where who knows how many people are going to see it.
It's a risk.
And then as soon as I threw that first kick and Detail blocked super low with his hand instead of checking it with his shin, I was completely fine.
Yes. You're like, yes. And then 2 seconds later,
yep.
See ya, Detail.
Yeah. So that video went viral, so to speak. How many views did it get?
3.5 million so far.
Is that all?
And that's just on YouTube. That's just on YouTube. Apparently, it's put on TikTok, and someone I ran into in the real world that recognized me told me that they saw it on World Star.
World Star.
And it's been on Twitter, and you name it, it's been on there getting hundreds of thousands of views everywhere else. ESPN shared it to the Sports Center Instagram twice.
Oh, wow.
It's why we're here today.
So you went from being nervous to being a viral MMA fighter in the world of like YouTube and TikTok and World Star, making ESPN. That's pretty impressive for your first kick.
Right.
Now,
way to make an entrance, right? Way to make your mark in the sport.
Did you fight more than once that day?
Yes, I did. I absolutely did. I drove 2 hours. I kick a dude in the head, knock him out, and I'm like, I drove 2 hours because I'm used to, like I said, I'm used to competing in martial arts tournaments where I'm there all day. So I drive 2 hours. I figured my first fight was going to take a long time, at least one round or almost a round. I finished the dude in 4.5 seconds.
You didn't have to do anything.
I'm like, well, dang, man. And then Storm Rider got beat by WA, and he felt like it was an early stoppage, and he had more to show. So he wanted to fight again. And he asked if he could fight again. They said, yeah, we can find someone to fight you. And then everyone started leaving after their fights because it was broiling out there. It was August. It was San Bernardino. It was like 113 degrees, 115 degrees, I think, by the end of the day. And I'm from the desert, so I'm used to it. He said he was from West Texas. He was still used to it. I was the only guy left, and he was impressed with the kick, so he wanted to challenge another strong fighter. So
you saw the kick?
Yeah.
I think if I see that kick.
He was like, well, how about you? Will you fight me? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll fight you. No problem. It's like, let's see what you got. Because I could tell he knew how to grapple. So I wanted to see what was going to happen. And I wanted to fight again. I felt like I had more to show, too. He felt like he had more to show. So we fought. We were like the second to last fight or the last fight of the day.
Did you prefer the hay bales over the cage or what?
Cage is definitely better. Always a cage is always better. Hay bales, the first wasn't so bad, though, because they were high enough. They weren't really that much of a tripping hazard. I mean, yeah, Reckless Rico and Red Reaper threw each other over the hay bales like once or twice in their fight that day, but nobody else really flipped over it like that. My last fight I did, those hay bales were a little bad because they were only like calf high. But
Street Bender, yeah. It's got to change your whole it changes your whole strategy. You can't just lean up on a guy.
Yeah, especially because that rematch with Street Bender, we were both expecting to be doing a lot of cage work again, like we did the first match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that went out the window.
I just can't believe Storm Rider was thinking to himself that getting in the ring with you was a good idea after watching you kick a guy unconscious in 4 seconds.
His thing is,
you got to give him a little, kudos there that he watched.
And he wants a rematch.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. I like the advice that was given to him when he was like being drowned in hay. Like, don't open your eyes as you're like over top of him with like your fist ready to punch him. Don't open your eyes, Storm Rider.
So, quick question: when you showed up, did you have to have a name before you started, or like was this something that you've been working for a while?
Well, the whole thing is, I know because they announce it in the main group all the time that only one person can have one name throughout the org. A few have slipped through the cracks, but I just didn't want to have to deal with changing my name after the fact. So I already knew Reaper was the Reaper was taken. It's on the Wall of Fame. So is I believe there's a Grim Reaper on the Wall of Fame in the OG Yard too. Red Reaper was taken, obviously. And I don't know if you can see it, but I got the big Grim Reaper poster over there. I'm kind of a goth kid when I'm not in all of this martial arts stuff. I actually have a whole second channel where you can see me all gothed out as a character hosting old public domain movies.
What is that channel so we can plug it?
It's Lord Demonius, the Undead Pyro.
All right,
so
not cool, but worth the watch.
Yeah, we'll have to get that typed out because I don't even know how to spell that.
Yeah, I'll send you guys the link on Insta. But so I knew all those were taken, and I decided that since I do karate and I've been studying Japanese off and on since I was a kid, because I've been fascinated by Japanese culture even before I started training karate or any of that. Just in general, I went with the Japanese word for the equivalent of the Grim Reaper, which is Shinigami, which translates to God of Death.
I think I like Shinigami better. You know, it kind of has like some mystery to it. You know, especially if you don't speak Japanese. I was like, what does that mean? And I looked it up. I was like, oh, Grim Reaper. That's a good one. You know, it sounds better. Grim Reaper, Shinigami. It sounds.
It suits you, Shinigami.
Yeah. So you got a big fight coming up on March 6th with Big Smile. One of the questions that we have on here, and it comes from, let me see. One of the people that sent a question today, it was Unami Tsunami 21. Unami _Tsunami 21 wants to know, are you worried about your conditioning against Big Smile? Have you been doing any more working out, anything else to get yourself in better condition to go against?
I train a lot. I don't know if you guys have noticed the gradual drop in weight loss between each fight, but I have been losing weight because I'm training so hard. I train at least twice a day. 3 days a week, and then the other 3 days, 2 of the other 3 days of the most of the week I train once a day, like Tuesday night and Saturday morning I've been training, and then Monday morning, Monday night, Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, Friday morning, Friday night. Lots of jump rope, lots of cardio, long grappling rounds of jiu-jitsu, long rounds of MMA, just way longer sparring rounds than I'm doing fighting rounds. So you know, the 2-minute rounds I'm going to be doing should be no problem for me.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to the fight. What are you doing, you know, besides the physical conditioning? What are you doing to get yourself mentally prepared for the fight? Like, what's going through your mind as you get closer to that big fight night, that big fight day?
You know what? I don't think of it as I mean, it's kind of being hyped up as a mega fight, and I'm kind of hyping it up too, because that's what you kind of got to do. But for me, I'm just looking at it. It's another day at the office fighting. It's another fight. It's another fight I got to win. It's just another step in my journey, and it's just keeping me mentally grounded. You know, I can't overthink it. I can't be nervous about it, because if I get nervous, that's the problem. You know, there's no reason to be nervous. This is going to be my 5th time to the rodeo, you know, and I'm very confident in my skill set, and, you know, I'm sure he's reviewed all my fights too, as much as I've reviewed his, but I feel like I still have the upper hand, because there's a lot of bags in my tricks. Tricks in my bag that I still haven't shown. And, I mean, it could be the same with him too, though. I mean, I don't know, but I can't really worry about whether or not he's really been suppressing his power level, or that's just everything he has. The way he fights every single time is kind of the same. So I don't know if there's something he's got up his sleeve, but as far as I'm concerned, I have the same mentality I have in any other fight. Whoever I'm fighting can't beat me until they prove they can. Nobody can beat me until they prove they can. That's my house. Nobody robs me. And as soon as I step in a ring, a cage, whatever it is, it's my house. Nobody robs me in my house. So that's my mentality going into every fight.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you're the champion, correct?
Yeah, I'm the West Coast champ, and he's the East Coast champ for the weight class.
This is like the 90s rap battles, you know, Biggie versus Tupac, East versus West.
We got an epic battle. Is he flying out just to fight, or what's going on?
They're flying me to the main yard in Virginia.
Oh, can we come down to spectate this?
Arrive with a sign.
Yeah, can we meet you at the airport with a sign that says Shinigami?
I will be there.
I don't know. I'd have to talk to Face about it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like we could come down and film it if you want, or
we can
do,
drive
like,
down to see it. That's great. You know, that's awesome because I was thinking you're only out there, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my coach out there, but I know I can bring I believe he said I can have up to +3, and right now I only got my coach, so I'm gonna hit up one other person tonight or tomorrow and see if they can maybe make it. But yeah, I'll see if I can get one of you guys there. Just the whole thing is that would just be spectating because
No, then never mind. Yeah, you get your people there for sure. I didn't realize. Yeah,
well, everybody people would have to pay for themselves, and a lot of my people can't afford it with the whole situation going on. So
yeah. Well, if you need people there to support you in your corner, or at least in the stands, we'll be more than happy to come down and cheer you on.
Witness this fight, man.
So with you were talking about your training. Maybe not all of our listeners know exactly what you have mastered, what martial arts you have mastered. So can you go into detail about what you have as a martial arts background? And then another question is Vicious Peso 86 wants to know how long you've been training in all your disciplines as well.
So I started training in September of 2007, September 4th to be exact. Was my first day of Kempo Shotokan Karate, which is my main art. I'm a first-degree black belt in Kempo Shotokan Karate. In fact, we've adjusted the curriculum. My sensei has incorporated a few other things. So it's Kempo Shotokan combined with Grandmaster Andre Glenn's 360 combat system. So now it's Kempo Shotokan 360 that I'm a first-degree black belt in. I've been doing that for about 13 and a half years. And jiu-jitsu I've been doing for about 9 years off and on, depending on my financial situation. I mean, I've been doing it pretty constantly, even if it wasn't in a gym where I could get ranked up. I still had guys I used to train with that they had me come over to their house. We'd roll in the garage on mats that they had, so I've always done something. I've also, for MMA purposes, worked on boxing and Muay Thai stuff, both to add it into my toolbox and to counter it. So mainly to counter it, because I mean, obviously if you notice, I mainly fight out of that karate stance because that's just, yes. I feel like I have the best footwork and everything from there.
So I see some judo. Let me ask that. I saw you like to do a little judo throw, I swear, on one of your fights.
Yeah, I did a little bit of a Tayatoshi on Street Bender the first time. I picked that up from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A lot of people don't know the history of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is directly tied to Kodokan Judo, and was passed to the Gracies by Mitsuo Maeda, aka Count Koma, who traveled the world fighting, but Jigoro Kano didn't want judo used for prize fighting, so he had to call it Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, and because of language alterations in Portuguese, it was altered to Jiu-Jitsu, and that's where Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu comes from. So there's a lot of those judo throws are in BJJ, and that's where I learned all of my judo throws from. Except there's a couple of throws that are universal, like Osoto Gari is universal, the hip toss is pretty universal. I don't think I've seen any karate style or taekwondo style that doesn't teach those two, just because it's like it's the most basic of mechanics to throw somebody those two ways. And then like variations, obviously like Tayatoshi are going to be in there too, since that's a form of hip toss.
So Asa Spades on Instagram says, what fighter is the most similar to your style? So I'll give you who I feel like you look the most like, and it's Ryu from Street Fighter. I was watching you fight and I was like, I've seen that stance before. And then it took me back to my childhood playing Street Fighter. You even got the headband and everything.
Keeps the sweat out of my eyes, man. That's really what it's for. I just get ones that look cool because then I look cool wearing them.
Well, hey, it's working. It's working.
Yeah, it's working. So, I mean, that's, like I said, it's a standard karate stance. I mean, Ryu's front hand is a little lower than you really would see in a real fight, but, or like in most karate styles. As far as who I think I resemble most fighter-wise, style-wise, I would say I'm somewhere between like Machida and Wonder Boy. Not as flashy as Raymond Daniels, but I'm actually from the same karate lineage as Raymond Daniels. I don't know if you guys know about him.
I know Wonder Boy and Machida for sure. I don't know. I'll have to look up Raymond Daniels.
Oh, Raymond Daniels is a human highlight reel. Let me tell you, he is pretty legendary in the karate community, but he's actually done. It's actually he's kind of criminally underrated in the MMA scene and like just the professional fight scene. Even though he's got an amazing record and has had he's literally one of his nicknames is the human highlight reel because he's got so many knockouts that are just insane, flashy kick knockouts. His first MMA fight in Bellator, he got a spinning tornado overhand right knockout. Where the guy was back against the cage and he went to go throw a tornado, like 720 roundhouse to knock the guy out to the head, and the dude leaned back because he was anticipating it. So at the last second, instead of throwing a kick, he landed through an overhand right with all that momentum behind it, and dude went night.
Spinning overhand right, like that. That reminds me. How about that spinning back fist of Street Bender? That one, I didn't expect that either.
The back fist didn't even hit me. It was just the camera angle. I ducked under it because I saw it coming. The elbow in round 3, that's what got me.
Spinning?
Yeah, he got me with a spinning elbow, and I didn't expect that because I didn't think he was going to have the fight IQ to throw it at that range because that spinning elbow came from way far away and was super telegraphed. So that sneaky elbow that he threw,
yeah,
it caught me, and it actually stunned me.
That's the fight that
was that your hardest hit that you've felt in Street Beefs?
In Street Beefs, for sure.
Yeah.
I've actually had harder hits training. I've never been actually knocked out. That was probably the closest I've ever been in the ring to ever being knocked out. That definitely wobbled me, and it definitely took me a second to get my feet back underneath me and keep my composure. And that was one of the reasons I was glad we had to cage that fight too, because I was actually losing. That was one of the only things holding me up after he hit me with that elbow.
Yeah, man, you were gutsy in that fight. That's when everybody started. I think like you watched the detail one, and you're like, this guy's awesome. Then you watch that one, and you're like, look at this guy, look at the guts on this guy fighting through all this. That was awesome.
Never give up.
You're so tired. I can't even imagine.
So the Black Attack on Instagram, they want to know what the best technique to pass guard is.
Depends on your size and stuff, man. I'm pretty good at smash passing, but you know, I'm usually bigger than most of the people that I train with and I fight, so it's not that hard for me to just turn my wide body sideways and their guard just cracks right open. I mean, it really, there's several techniques for guard passing, and if you train jiu-jitsu, I would recommend asking your own instructor what the best guard pass is, because things like that really depend on the situation and the size of your opponent. There's no one universal answer for everything for any martial art.
And you know, Elias_R wants to know, what advice can you give a young, a beginning MMA fighter?
Train at least once a day, every day, if you have the ability, the time, and the resources to do it, because it is something that most of your opponents are going to be doing at the very least once a day, 5-6 days a week. You got to be on that grind. It's got to be your main focus, because you know, whether or not you're at the amateur level, you're professional level, you're going to have guys that are just, that's what they're doing every day. That's the grind. You can't approach it casually, because if you do, you're going to get hurt. It's something you really have to take seriously. And you know, you have to find what martial arts are the right fit for you too. It's mixed martial arts, and there's a plethora. There's no reason for it to be like this cookie cutter thing. Like you have to learn Muay Thai and you have to learn jiu-jitsu. You can blend all kinds of things. I mean, yeah, you need to learn some submissions from jiu-jitsu, but you just find what fits for you and train every day, and listen to your body too. That's a big thing. When I was in my 20s, I got a lot of injuries, and I should have just stopped right there and sat out, watched the rest of the class, gone home, iced it, and not come back for a week or two. And I didn't do that. And if you get an injury bad enough that you feel like you need to stop, or it's sore enough afterwards that you feel like you shouldn't go in, don't go in. And if it's bad enough that a few days or a week doesn't take care of it, go see your doctor, because otherwise you're going to end up where I am, with a bunch of permanent injuries that are never going to go away and will haunt you the rest of your life.
Good advice.
I got that was solid advice. I got a really good question from Dr. MacArthur. He says, can Master Shinigami throw his chi?
Nobody can throw chi.
Yet. Nobody can throw chi yet.
You just don't know you can.
That's right. We believe in you.
The day somebody actually demonstrates somehow that they can really throw chi, I'll fight them just like that dude in Japan did with that old guy that said he could knock out any MMA fighter without touching him. And we'll see if they really can throw chi or not and how effective that chi really is.
You heard it here first, folks. Again.
You remind me of Charlie Zelenoff right now. I saw that.
Can he throw his chi?
Charlie Zelenoff can't even throw a good punch.
I saw you roll up to his apartment and call him out before that too. Nothing ever happened with that?
Nah, dude, he was, I don't know if it was even really him or not, but I was going back and forth with him on Twitter for a while, and he knew I was coming. He was saying I was a no-show because we agreed to fight on a Monday, and I didn't say what time I was going to come down because I was trying to avoid him, ditching like that, and he did it anyway because I posted a picture that I was like 10 minutes away from his house on the freeway. I posted that I was on the freeway. I posted the sign, and he was either hiding under his bed or not even home.
Shinigami's at the door.
I'll tell you one thing. I wasn't coming like crazy tempo just to get views. I wasn't coming just to mess with them. I was coming to break limbs and stop him from ever assaulting anybody again, because that's the only way he's going to stop. All these other guys have been nice to him. They've just, patted him up a little bit or whatever, tapped him up, made him look bad, but he doesn't get it through his head. And him being a little screw loose here and there isn't an excuse for what he does to people. And someone's got to stop him. Someone's got to stop him. And if that's got to be me, so be it, because it's got to end, dude. It's got to end somewhere, because he can't keep going on like this. And what really drove it home for me was finding out that after he got banned from going in all those regular gyms he was going into, the fitness gyms, and just beating people up in, he started running around at night at parks around LA and Hollywood, just assaulting random people. And he actually ordered some pizzas from Domino's. This old guy delivers them. He tells him he didn't order them, punches him in the face, tells him, he's the best in the world, Charlie Zelenoff, claims the dude was an undercover Mossad agent. Like, you can't just be assaulting regular people, dude.
Oh, man.
You can't do it, man.
Yeah, you got to take that guy out.
Charlie. Yeah, for those who don't know, he's just a guy that talks a lot of trash to a lot of high-profile people. And I guess he goes to normal gyms and fights regulars and tricks them or something into.
Yeah, he goes and he'll go up to somebody and he'll be like, hey, I'm training for a boxing match, or I'm training for whatever. Can you want to help me out, do a little friendly spar, da-da-da? And as soon as their gloves are on, or sometimes they only have one glove on it, which happened at one point. He socked a dude that was like way bigger than him. Dude had one glove on, was starting to put the other one on. He belts him as hard as he can. Dude got mad and chased him through the gym. That's what he does. He says friendly spar, and then he tries to swing as hard as he can. And then when you give up, he goes, 338-0, best in the world, Charlie Z, da-da-da-da-da. And then he'll label the video like that the guy is a black belt in karate or a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, which is stupid. You're going to brag about being a grappler in a boxing match.
True. Yeah.
Or they're a FBI agent, or they're a Marine, or they're KGB or whatever, dude. Like he puts.
I really don't like this guy.
Like he puts all these titles on these videos that make it look like he's some like spectacular guy beating all these guys that are with these qualifications that they don't really have, to make himself look so awesome, like he's really the best in the world. He thinks he's or he claims that he dated Kim Kardashian. He claims he's married to somebody, but he only shows like a screenshot of a video from like the neck down and some chick from OnlyFans. And he says it's his wife, which he just got divorced from, apparently. The dude is just all over the place with his stuff. But the whole thing is, his parents enable it. His dad enables it the worst, you know, and hypes him up and tells him he's great at fighting and boxing and everything else.
Well, I mean, that's a dad's job.
That's the seal. Once you get the seal from your dad, you're like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing here.
My dad finally loves me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because his dad was a boxer. So I don't know what the deal
That's how you get to him. You fight his dad.
I'll fight them both at the same time and wreck them both.
Fight them both.
I'll pay for that.
No cap. I will fight them both in that little alleyway of the apartment because his dad's the apartment manager there.
Just park in his parking spot.
Pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'd fight him on paper, dude. But that's the thing. I fight like guys like him or Jake Paul or Logan Paul, scumbags like that. I'll gladly fight them for free just to put them away.
I like it.
Go.
Because our big thing is drink good beer, do good stuff, and you cleaning up that internet trash is doing good stuff. So we can get behind that. So
he's whoop some ass right there, Shinigami.
Exactly. Yeah, big shout out to Indy for making me that theme song. Is I think it's his Spotify is Indy _ go check him out.
Bill.
I'll put it up there.
Good work.
Yeah, you send us that link. We'll put it up for him.
So that's kind of awesome. Drink good beer, do good stuff. You take the drink good beer out and you put whoop some ass in. Spread some love. It's the same message, really.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah,
Hey, so one of the things with Street Beefs is that, I watched the video with Scarface where he's talking about how he takes people that are beefing and instead of turning to violence, they let them, battle it out with their fists because it takes a man to punch another man in the face. So we thought it would be interesting to ask you about some current event beefs between people, celebrities, so to speak, and then you tell us who you would think would win. And so the first, are you ready for this?
He's ready.
So the first one I have is Apple and Facebook are beefing over the privacy details, with the iPhone and Facebook's advertising algorithm that they use to kind of like watch everything you do on your iPhone. So we were wondering if Tim Cook and Mark Zuckerberg fought, who does Shinigami think would win those fights? And if we put him in a street beef ring.
Oh, okay. I think anybody watching this is going to hear that question and automatically go, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't look like he could take a punch to save his life.
No.
And that's my verdict. He would lose. Dude, Steve Jobs could beat him without coming back from the grave.
Whoa!
Right?
So I say Tim Cook. Bill, who do you say?
Tim Cook would annihilate him with a flick of a finger, dude. It would look like that scene from Rurouni Kenshin where Sanosuke just knocks the street thug out with just a little flick.
Yeah, see, I see Tim Cook putting him in a submission hold and making him tap out, like making him say, I've had enough, instead of just knocking him out.
Oh, maybe. I mean, Charlie Zelenoff could beat Mark Zuckerberg, like legitimately.
Maybe that's the
and
fight.
Do whatever you want. Dude, I guarantee you Charlie Zelenoff could put him in some kind of submission hold because there's no way Mark Zuckerberg can.
Just like that, Shinigami's Facebook account disappeared.
I don't know.
Right? My whole fan page is going to be gone the day after this goes
Us
up.
too. We're big on Instagram, so we're all gone. Oh, well. All right. Beef number 2. Bill, go ahead with this one.
Oh, we got recently Snoop Dogg and Eminem were beefing. Who do you think would win in that battle?
Are you kidding me?
Bro,
West
Coast Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg would just bitch slap that little Detroit white boy, dude. Like,
I'm looking at it.
Are you kidding me? I don't think, dude. Eminem again, another dude doesn't look like he could win in a fight to save his life. And I'm sure 8 Mile was rough, but I'm sure, and I know this because I got bullied growing up myself. I guarantee you, he was getting beat up like every other day, probably growing up, and not just by his mom. So, I guarantee you, Snoop Dogg is going to just, just all day long put hands on him.
I'm going Snoop Dogg for just the reach alone. He's never going to be able to get inside on Snoop Dogg. So
definitely the reach. I mean, I guarantee you, Snoop Dogg probably has way more training because Snoop Dogg does everything, dude. I guarantee you, Snoop Dogg hits the gym and has gotten some boxing training or something in his lifetime. Because it's Snoop Dogg. He completed the main mission a long time ago and spent the rest of his life doing side quests to this day.
I think we should have realized that asking a West Coast guy to go against a West Coast rapper was never going to happen.
You know what? I don't even like rap though. That's the whole fun thing about this one. So it ain't even no personal stake in that one. It's just the fact that I know what it's like down there in LA and Compton, man. I live an hour and a half north of that city. I'm in that county and I know what it's like down there. So I promise you, just from having driven around there and seeing stuff that I've seen down there, I guarantee you that Snoop Dogg would put hands on Eminem all day and it probably wouldn't even last a round, dude. Eminem would be either TKO'd or KO'd. And if it's MMA, I'm pretty sure since Snoop Dogg had to learn some tricks, I know he did some WWE stuff back in the day too. I guarantee you Snoop Dogg would put something on him, like DDT him or something.
Yeah, I like Eminem, like his first couple albums, but like recently I can't get over that beard that he's got that looks
I don't
like
know who told him that was a good idea, man.
He needs to fire whoever his hype man is.
Something.
All right,
His stylist needs to get fired. He needs to invest in some Gillette and go back to that clean shaven look, man, because I don't know what's up with that beard, man, but
it's not healthy. So, you got your fight on March 6th. I couldn't get that out. You have your fight on March 6th. And then Wilson Tran wanted us to ask, how long to your next fight after that?
I don't know.
Wait, do you know the name
Wilson Tran? Wilson Tran?
Tell him what he said.
Yeah, well, he said to tell you that he said, when's your next fight?
Tell him Wilson Tran asked this.
I don't know who Wilson Tran is, but thank you for the question.
Hey,
maybe one day, man. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? We only asked
his Instagram is Joshua_M.C.
No, I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if I looked him up and found out I follow him, because anybody who follows me on Instagram, I try to follow them all back. But my next fight after that depends on how this fight goes. If I win quick with no damage, like I did with Detail,
or second,
then I might just come back and do the next Street Beefs West Coast event, which was probably like a week after that.
Yes.
I like it.
If not, probably April. Depending also on where Street Beefs West Coast next event's going to be. Because I know the next one's supposed to be in Vegas. So if I can get a ride out there and I don't have a lot of damage or any damage at all, depending on how the fight goes, I'll probably go run out there and do it. Because I know there's a couple of guys that have won their matches in my weight class that are itching for that title shot.
Yeah.
Might as well,
Uh-oh.
All right. What is your pre-fight meal?
I actually try to treat, my full contact fight days the same as I do my tournament days, and I really don't eat a lot. I have a standard breakfast I eat like about every day, which is like a can of pineapple and some protein nuts or protein bar, something like that. And then I'll take a couple protein bars with me. Don't want to be full or heavy on the stomach all day.
Don't have to go potty.
That's my pre-fight meal right there. Is that,
what's your celebratory post-fight meal?
Depends what I'm in the mood for, but definitely something with carbs, man. When I fought Street Bender the first time, since it was in Vegas and I heard about the place a million times. I went to the Heart Attack Grill. That was my big post-fight meal.
How was it?
Shout out to the Heart Attack Grill.
There you go.
Semi shout out to the Heart Attack Grill. I personally wasn't impressed with the food to price ratio or the food flavor to price ratio, because in LA we got a place called Umami Burger.
Yeah.
And for the same exact price, like, burger almost the same size, it tastes way better.
Is that in the Grove?
There's a bunch of them. There's one.
I lived out there. Oh yeah, it's a yeah. I lived out there for a while. There's a couple in
Pasadena. Most of them are all over LA.
You are now. We should say you seem to be a little bit on your Instagram of a chef. What's that background?
I went to culinary school. When I was growing up, man, was when Food Network was taking off. Emeril Lagasse and like Jamie Oliver and all those guys blowing up. Everybody wanted to be a chef. Everybody, myself included. You know, and even before that, I grew up watching reruns of Julia Child and the Galloping Gourmet and stuff like that. I remember when we first got the Food Network on our cable list, I was all about that. My grandma would watch it all the time. You know, so I decided I was going to try to be a chef, and I went to culinary school, and that was a ripoff. I don't know. I'm not going to say every culinary school is a ripoff, but the one I went to definitely was. And they had, I didn't know they were owned, because when I looked them up in middle school, and I don't know if it said they were owned by Career Education Corporation at the time or if they were or not, but when I went there, they were Le Cordon Bleu Pasadena. At the time was California School of Culinary Arts.
Yeah.
Which is now closed because they got sued so many times. But, you know, the reality is you go to culinary school and then you go work in a restaurant, and it turns out that you could have got that restaurant job without going to culinary school because they don't care that you went. So you don't get a higher pay because you got a degree like they told you in the recruiting office. And most of the stuff you learn, you're not going to use because every restaurant has their own recipes, their own kitchen system. So you got to learn everything all over again every time you work in a different restaurant.
Scam.
So what's Shinigami's favorite meal to make?
Now, see, there's the one that's the one thing is people ask me what my favorite this or that is when it comes to food. I like food. I'm a chef. I can make just about anything. I will eat just about anything at least once. Like I've had balut before. It wasn't too bad. Probably would eat it again. But I don't know. There's a few things. Pretty good at just about anything Italian. Definitely love to make steak all day.
Oh yeah,
ribeye.
I can get behind that.
So wait, what do you do? Do you
Ribeye,
grill
maybe
it
with
and
a
then
baked
put it in the oven?
potato, or like what I made for Valentine's Day with the bacon wrapped asparagus and the baked potato, or
Saw
like.
that.
So you brought up middle school and Humpster Dumpster on Instagram. They said, do you have any good school fight stories when you were a kid?
I don't know about good. I didn't learn how to fight till I was an adult.
Is that what
I used to routinely get my butt kicked a lot.
Is that what kind of pushed you into MMA? Was you know, some of your experiences as a young adult?
It's kind of what pushed me into martial arts. Like I always was fascinated by martial arts, but that's really what pushed me into it because, you know, I wasn't a big dude most of my life. I mean, I was sometimes a little taller than most of the other kids, but I wasn't like a big stocky tank like you see now. You know, I didn't get even close to what I look like now until like junior year of high school. And that's about when people stopped messing with me because I was about too big to mess with anymore. You know, they assumed. So junior year, senior year, people stopped messing with me. And there was some punk in culinary school that kept doing stupid crap, putting raw fish in my backpack when I wasn't looking, doing other stuff. One day he flicked some bleach water in my eye and I told him I was going to kick the crap out of him. He goes and runs where all the teachers are out in the parking lot instead of going to the other side of the campus. So I got a hold of him the next term and realized that even though he sucked at fighting worse than I did, I still couldn't fight to save my life.
Was his last name Zelenoff?
I wish. No, but so I ended up starting to look around for a place to train. There was a kung fu school near my uncle's apartment that I was living at when I was finishing culinary school in Hollywood. It's still there, I believe, or actually I don't know now because of Rona. But the last time I was down there, it was still there. It was Ija Kung Fu Academy, run by Shifu Earl White, who was actually on Deadliest Warrior as the expert for the African fighting style when they did the Shaka Zulu versus William Wallace episode.
Oh, nice.
And he offered to, you know, let me try it out because martial arts schools offer you a free class or two. I told him I'll try it out, but I can't sign up because I'm moving in 2 weeks because I was moving back out here to do my externship in an Italian place out here just because it's cheaper to live out here in general. So LA rent is crazy. Granted, I had a pretty decent deal at my uncle's place, but I wasn't going to stay there forever anyway. So he let me train for 2 weeks, told me I trained well, and then I came back out here. And about a year and a half later, I found my karate school and settled there because the price was right, the curriculum was great, the environment was great. As for school fight stories, There was this one time my freshman year of high school,
Here we go.
No, this is gonna be a golden one.
and it's not even that I put up a fight or anything. So there was this chick I kind of had a crush on, and we would flirt all the time. And one day we were making out near the cafeteria. I didn't know she had a
more than
boyfriend.
crush there, brother.
I didn't know she had a boyfriend.
Oh,
I told her she had a
no.
boyfriend when she stuck her tongue in my mouth.
No.
A couple of days later, this dude and a bunch of his friends come over and start cussing me out, and they tried to trash can me. So they pick me up by my arms and my legs in the middle of the lunch hour or whatever, and they take me over into the center commons area to try to put me in a trash can. And first of all, they couldn't get me in the trash can because I was squirming too much. But the second thing is they made the biggest mistake they could have made by taking me to the trash can they took me to, because it was right by the table where all my friends hung out.
Okay.
And some
Now
of
you
my
gotta back
friends
up.
were bigger than most of his friends.
Classic.
So
mistake.
they saved me there, man. They saved me big time. That was a stupid thing, man. But and that's the kind of thing Street Beefs exists for, is to settle stupid stuff like that without people popping each other over, smack talking or messaging people's girls or
that.
whatever.
She didn't have to kiss you. She could have told you she had a boyfriend.
She was into it, man.
She knew. She saw the potential.
Something. I don't know. I've always been a bit of a flirt, man. I'm pretty good at wooing the ladies when I want to,
Uh-oh.
Especially now.
So, Bill and I were talking about if we were to be street beef fighters, we would have to have a name. And so we came up with our own, but then we were thinking, we want to be in Shinigami Kai. So we figured maybe Sensei Shinigami could give us street beef names.
What did you guys come up with first? I want to know.
Mine.
Bill's is great.
I'm a fan.
Mine is not.
Right. So here's mine. I was doing the dishes the other day, and the pans. The wife says when they get the brown stuff on the bottom, you gotta scrub. My name is Steel Wool, right? Because I'm soft. But if you rub up against me enough, I'm gonna irritate you. Maybe make you bleed a little bit.
Steel Wool.
Dude,
Steel Wool.
I thought
You
that
like
was
that?
really great. And he was like, "What's your street beef name?" And I was watching TV with my wife last night, and she was complaining about all the dust bunnies everywhere. Like, oh, the dust bunnies under the bed. That they're just so tough to get out of here. And I was like, that's my street beef name, Dust Bunny.
You're light, dude, but you're dirty.
You think you're gonna fight me, that I'm not even gonna stand a chance. But no matter what you do, you just can't get rid of me. I'm a dust bunny.
Perfect.
I think we stumped him.
Steel Wool versus Dust Bunny.
Dust Bunny. Oh,
We'll work on that
No.
one.
Steel Wool, man. That's actually
Yeah,
clever.
Steel Wool's good.
Steel
So he
Wool.
went serious, I went funny. That's how we were doing
You
it.
guys
I
want to
think
see
that's
the
good.
Steel Wool I was
And
holding?
you know what? Sometimes funny works.
Not Dust
Like
Bunny,
there's a
though.
fighter. I don't know how many Street Beefs fights you guys have watched.
Yeah,
But one fighter in the west in the main branch is named Freelance Gynecologist.
I didn't see that one.
And in this corner, we got the freelance gynecologist. He's 0-0 in Satan's backyard.
Oh, that guy picked it. So you got Freelance Gynecologist. You got I Eat Babies. There's just a bunch of them, man. Slimbo Rice.
It's like the
Limbo Rice.
XFL.
Funny can work, man.
I love the
Funny can work.
nicknames.
But Dust Bunny that's a no for me, dog.
Oh, damn it. I'm out.
Oh,
of
you
Shinigami
can't be.
Kai.
You're not in Shinigami.
I'm out.
Man, get
All
out
right.
of
I didn't say you're not in Shinigami Kai, but you're not gonna be in Shinigami Kai with that name.
Then I need a good name. You got to give me a good name.
here. Well, think of it. He needs to get to know you, know your quirks.
Oh, dude.
I got you. I got you right now, and you're gonna
All
love
right.
this one because this is a craft beer show, right? You review
Yeah.
beers. Dear Beermeister.
The
I'm the
Beermeister.
Beermeister.
Dear
Boom.
Beermeister.
Oh no, in the
Logo that
yard.
says Beermeister.
He's 0-0 in the yard.
Yeah.
Love it.
In
He'll
this
knock
corner,
you out
we
and then
got-
drink a beer with you.
What weight class are you in, Ryan?
I would be in the 215. What is your weight classes? Where would I fight with 215?
You would be in like regular heavyweight.
So I have to fight you?
in the East Coast yard, because they have a super heavyweight. So you wouldn't really be worrying about fighting guys my size because it's from 225 to 244. Or no, it's from 206 to 244, something like that. I don't know. I have to look at the chart again, but I think you're either in light heavyweight or heavyweight. Dude, so in this corner, we got Quack Attack. He's like 7-0 in the yard, or 7-1 in the yard.
That's
and in
funny.
this corner, we got the Beermeister. 7-0 in the yard.
Listen,
Boom.
Murph,
Steel Wool, man. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to top Steel Wool, dude. But
Dude, I don't think anybody can. I don't want to fight Steel Wool.
Well, wait, hold on. This ties in. I wanted to say this tonight because this is one of the reasons I have so much respect for anybody that steps in there, no matter if they win or lose. Do you remember in college, Murph, you and I one time had headgear and gloves that belonged to somebody else, and we mixed it up, and you punched me like twice, and I was just like, couldn't get that headgear off fast enough. I was like, no. I had the gloves off. I was like, no, thank you.
Well, the Beermeister was drinking a lot of beer that night, so I don't remember.
Doesn't it hurt, Shinigami? Oh, God, man.
Yeah, of course it hurts.
Jesus, people.
Of course it hurts. But
it hurts.
you know what? It's like Horace Gracie said, nobody wants to get punched in the face. I don't care how tough you say you are. Nobody likes getting hit in the face. All right. And everybody's got a plan so you get hit in the face unless you can keep your composure. And that's the whole thing about it. Yeah, it hurts. Getting hit in the face hurts. It sucks. Getting hit anywhere sucks. But that's the game, man. You hitting the other guy more than they hit you and harder than they hit you when it matters. And with MMA, I like it because I have the option of beating you without having to hit you because I can grapple you up if I feel like I'm losing the exchanges. And I think that's one of the reasons this big smile match is going to be interesting. And I think it's why so many people want to see it. And Scarface himself wanted to make that match is because we both are big dudes that are about the same height and weight, with a grappling background. Big Smile is a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I don't know how recent his pictures are with him and a gi, but granted, I didn't look that close, but I didn't see any stripes on his belt. Meanwhile, I've got 3 stripes on my belt.
3 stripes.
And,
3 stripes. 3 stripes.
3 stripes on my belt. So,
I
those stripes make a huge difference in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's one thing
I'm just hype, man.
People don't understand about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. There's only 5 belts for adults. And those stripes are hard to earn, just like the belts themselves, because there's so few belts. The fewer belts there are in a system, the longer it takes to advance. And there's still some Shotokan schools that only have white, brown, and black belt in their system. And other systems have like 20 belts, so they're giving them out like candy. It really depends on what the focus of the art and the school is. Some associations and some arts are run like a business, so they have a bunch of belts so they can charge you $700 for a belt test every 3 months and make a ton of money off of you. Others, it's like jiu-jitsu. Brazilian jiu-jitsu, there's not really an actual set curriculum. Some schools have them. They've made one. Most don't. It depends on what your professor sees that they want you as an individual to work on, based on your body size, what other skills you've shown in your progression. For me, I can't tell. I'm not going to say exactly what it is because I don't want to give anything away before the fight of what my professor thinks I need to work on.
I have a lot of money on this fight.
But I will say that there are 2 things that my professor told me that he wanted me to show to get my purple belt, because when I went back, I was like, my goal, because I've been a blue belt for years. So my goal is to be a purple belt by July this year. So I've been working on top of training for these fights. I've been also trying to work on the things he wants me to work on. And I think I'm getting there. So
we're both really, really pumped for the fight. March 6th. How will people be able to view your fight against Big Smile?
Well, if they can't get up in the morning and get on Demon Boy's boxing channel for the live stream on YouTube, they'll have to wait until they upload it to the channel. But I can guarantee you, simply because this is how every fight since my first 2 have gone, they upload it first thing the next morning. So if they don't catch the live stream, it will probably be uploaded very first thing Sunday morning on the 7th.
People are excited for this one.
And so
only on Street Beefs.
Only on Street Beefs. And also, can they watch it in person? Like, you know, we're primarily on the East Coast, and if we have East Coast people that are in the Baltimore, Virginia area, and they want to go see it, can they go and see it in person? I know with COVID, that kind of has.
No, it's not really open to the public. Fighters can bring a +1 or a +2, dependent. I get like I can get an extra +1 because I'm a champ, and they're flying me all the way from the other side of the country. So that's why I've got that little bit of a privilege, but because I guess, you know, champs get a little bit of a little more wiggle room with things.
Be the champ.
So, but in general, no, unless you know a fighter, you're not going to get in to watch. Because one, it keeps noise level down, and two, yeah, COVID restrictions definitely have hindered that.
Yeah.
You know, the West Coast, you get a +1. Over there for a while, they had no spectators at all allowed. Just corner mat, just your coach and you, and that was it. But they have been live streaming every main yard event for a while on Demon Boy's boxing channel the day it happens. So
I'll be there.
You know, you just gotta usually, I believe they usually start doing the fights at like 11 o'clock or noon, something like that, Virginia time, East Coast time. So like a lot of times if you're on the West Coast, it'll be 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, the live stream will start.
Breakfast, watch the fights.
Bowl of cereal and some fights, man. Just like back in the day watching them WMAC Masters on Saturday morning.
You're right. Or I love the football at 10 a.m. there in LA. It's great.
Yeah. So, you know, one last thing is you're known for your shout outs, right? Like everyone, we've seen a couple comments where they say like, would they love your shout outs? And we thought that was something cool that you did. So, you know, I guess you got to give a shout out to everybody, your sponsors and where you train. I know we didn't really hit on that real quick. So if you want to do a quick shout out to the people that have helped you out along the way, I feel like we wouldn't be doing.
I think the shout outs most people give me credit for is those birthday shout outs and stuff. Like somebody asked me to do one, and I'm like, you know what? Birthdays are one of the few days of the year I actually hold sacred. So I did it. I've been doing them like a lot ever since. In fact, I got one I got to do today that I was supposed to do yesterday. I was just too tired because
you record
not even a spoiler anymore because they started uploading the videos from yesterday's Street Beefs West Coast. But I made my debut as a Street Beefs referee yesterday.
Oh,
is it on there now?
My debut in a video game wrestling match as a referee.
Yes, that's
good. So there's that, but shout outs to my sponsors for sure. Challenger Tap House, Julio Arano Jr. And his Confidence Dojo, which he unfortunately just closed due to other life obligations taking up all his time. Shout out to Forgotten Art Tattoo. Jesus Davila runs that. If you guys are ever in Lancaster or anywhere, anyone is near Lancaster, California, wants to get some ink, go to Forgotten Art. He's your man. And look, just follow him on social media because he goes and goes to all kinds of tattoo shows and does all kinds of stuff around the country. I think he's even done some stuff outside of the country where he's done like conventions and stuff where he's done work there too by appointment. So definitely check him out. Shout out to Antelope Valley Chiropractic or AV Chiropractic. Not a sponsor, but Dr. Hodges does the best chiropractic work ever. I get an adjustment before every fight. Okay, so
are you gonna work over like the day before? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there. Either the morning I fly out or the day before I fly out after training, my last training session of the week, or you know, one of the two. Shout out to the lab, my professor Jerry Montez. Shout out to my boy Filthy Phil, who's been at Filthy Phil the Beast on Instagram. Dude has been the best training partner I could have for not just any fight camp, but specifically this fight camp.
Yeah, he's big
like
smile.
6'1", 280 pounds. And he's a purple belt. Dude's a way stronger dude than Big Smile. I guarantee you. Because if you go to his Instagram and see his arm, because he took a picture the other day from No Gi Night. Dude has been doing a lot of weightlifting the last couple of years. So that dude is built like a tank, and he is strong like the Hulk. like just crazy strong. So huge shout out to him. Shout out to Josh, pro MMA fighter that trains at the lab, helps me out a lot, gives me all kinds of good advice. Shout out to Shihan John Ramsey, who I started my karate journey with. Sensei Robert Linson, who I still do karate under, or will be when the school opens back up after Rona, because that's Park program, so Parks hasn't opened back up, so we haven't really done any work together in a while. But definitely shout out to those guys, because without them I wouldn't be where I'm at all today, and I definitely want to be able to kick like that. For sure, that's definitely all on Shihan Ramsey, Sensei Robert Linson, Sensei we had like 8 senseis. So Sensei Danny Salazar, there was Johnny Salazar, Sensei Dave Poston, Sensei Sheena Thompson. She helped me a lot back in the day, too, with a lot of kata stuff and stretching too. Just everybody pretty much on my martial arts journey. Huge shout out, because you guys have all been a part of making Shinigami into the apparent legend that I now am. Even though I still don't consider myself one. I'm just a guy from literally the middle of nowhere doing what I love. In fact, it's funny because Darkness picked me up to take me to Street Beefs West Coast 6 yesterday, and he was like, I did not expect this to be where you lived, because this is really the middle of nowhere. You were not kidding. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this, just to give you a hint of where I actually live. You guys ever seen like House of a Thousand, or not House of a Thousand Corpses, the Devil's Rejects?
Oh yeah, the Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah, that motel.
You live out there?
That was filmed literally like 2 miles that way from my house.
Oh my god.
Joe Dirt was filmed in the same spot actually as that. Just
Joe Dirt.
There's the Easy Rested motel set, which has been in like music videos, everything. It was in REM's like Do You Believe, or Man on the Moon, or whatever it's called. It was in that video. Jessica Simpson, Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera and Jewel all filmed over there. They filmed across the street from it where it's really desert. Up behind that, they filmed the Scorpion King.
And from these humble,
something that's in the middle of the desert. As a matter of fact, have you guys seen Ratchet on Netflix?
No. Oh, Nurse Ratchet, that show Ratchet. Yeah. Okay, no, I haven't yet.
Is that filmed near?
The last shot of the last episode is filmed on 148th Street East at this little motel. Another motel.
Too many details. Big Smile's coming over. What's his name? Zelahoff is on his way now. He knows where you live.
You can bring it, man. I'll fight him in the desert. I'll fight him in LA. I'll fight him in Street Beefs. I'll fight him at my gym. I'll fight him at his gym, his garage. I'll fight Charlie Zelenoff anywhere. You put me on Mars with Charlie Zelenoff, I'll fight him with no oxygen tank.
Hell yeah.
And you're still going to win.
Like that, Charlie.
Definitely still going to win. Dude, that is how bad I want to wreck Charlie Zelenoff, end his little nonsense career, and keep him from ever hurting anybody again.
Bill,
I see red when I hear that name, man. That guy is the worst.
Wait.
Make this happen.
And let's not forget Rachel with the shout outs.
Yeah, you didn't give a shout out to Rachel.
Okay. And YouTube. Let's talk about YouTube real quick as we get.
Yeah, shout out to Rachel. Obviously, most shouted out person on Street Beefs.
That's right.
Rachel, we love you, Rachel. And
she's gonna love this. She loves it. She absolutely loves it when people shout her out.
Nice.
So we gotta talk about your channel so people can follow you. We'll do the rundown of your Instagram handle, your Twitter handle, your YouTube channel, what the name is for that, so that way everybody can find all your stuff.
So my first YouTube is Shinigami The Reaper. That's the channel name. Now the URL is at Undead Pyro, because originally when I made that channel, I never thought I was gonna be doing the stuff I'm doing with it right now. That was actually originally gonna be my like more gothy channel, but I ended up uploading tournament videos and everyone was watching them. So I decided to just leave that as my main channel and start doing all my martial arts oriented stuff there. My other channel is Lord Demonius, the Undead Pyro. You can look it up. Just type in Lord Demonius. It'll come up. Can't miss it. The episodes are called The Nightmare Lair and Literary Corner of Darkness. So those will come up when you look for that. I'll actually send these guys a link so they can put it in the video too.
Perfect.
My Twitter is at The Reaper MMA. And my Instagram is at Shinigami _the Reaper MMA. I also have a official Facebook page, Shinigami The Reaper. Just go ahead and look that up too.
Not anymore. Mark Zuckerberg deleted it.
At least until Mark Zuckerberg zucks it out of existence because I said he can't fight to save his life, or at least doesn't look like it.
Tim Cook, baby.
Yeah. All right, everyone.
Oh, thank you so much.
Shinigami, probably my favorite interview we've had yet.
Good luck on your
Thanks
fight.
for having me, gentlemen. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. For
Yeah.
coming.
Good luck on March 6th. If you want us to come down and cheer you on, hit us up. We'll be there to support you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All
For
right.
sure.
From the Beer Meister and Steel Wool, good luck, Shinigami.
See you, everybody.
All right.
Welcome everybody, come through. You don't wanna miss this craft beer review. Drink craft, not corporate, that's what we about. Drink good beer, do good stuff all around, hey. Welcome everybody, come through. You don't wanna miss this craft beer review. Drink craft, not corporate, that's what we about.